Yeah, good morning. You're welcome to our inaugural lecture for managerial economics. Sorry, I've been having challenges with the network. This was already a long time ago, but it's never late. We're going to have the lectures in modules. So we are starting from module 1, where we are going to introduce the concept of economics and managerial economics as distinct from general economics, and also explain the importance, the relevance, the scope of managerial economics. So while I share please stay back, let me share my screen so that we start quick in earnest. The term economics has been derived from a Greek word oikonomia, which means household. Economics is a social science. It is called social because it studies mankind of society. It is an aspect of human behavior. It is called sciences. It studies social problem from a scientific point of view. So definitely this is just trying to tell you what economics, how does the word economics actually emanates. It emanates from a Greek word that means household. So the study of economics starts from household. That's why we say even managerial economics is applied microeconomics, because when you're talking about household, you're talking about one unit, which is the domain of microeconomics. Now, economics has been defined by various scholars, especially Lord Robbins, who defines economics as a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between end and scarce means, which have alternative uses. This word scarce is not scarce, it's actually scarce. So that's a Lord Robbins. John Maynard Keynes studied this defined as study of the administration of scarce resources and the determinants of income and employment. While Samuelson defined it more broadly and more detailed as economics is a study of how people and society end up choosing with or without the use of money to employ scarce productive resources that will have alternative uses, to produce various commodities and distribute them for consumption now or in the future among various persons or groups in society. That's a definition by Samuelson. So I think I won't waste time on these definitions because you all did them at your O-level economics level. And some of you have degrees in economics, so you'll understand the definition perfectly very well. Another definition, let's define managerial economics, which is the subject matter of this course. Managerial economics is the study of how to direct scarce resources in a way that most effectively achieves a managerial goal. And another definition is the integration of economic theory with business practice for the purpose of facilitating decision-making and forward planning of management. Now, again, I'm more aligned to this definition because actually we're trying to look at the role of economic theory, how economic theory helps in making business, decision-making in business very smoothly and easily, and it promotes efficiency in the management and planning of an organization. Now, the proponents of managerial economics have some objectives they set out to achieve and some importance they attach to the study of managerial economics. The basic objective of managerial economics is to analyze the economic problem faced by this business. Now, we are trying to use economic tools to actually analyze the problems faced by businesses so that we can be able to use those tools to propose solutions that will solve the problem. And then there are so many other sub-objectives of the study of managerial economy, some of which are to integrate economic theory with business practice, to apply economic concept and principles to solve business problems, to allocate scarce resources in the optimal manner, to make all-round development of the farm, and the rest of them. So basically, the main objectives actually using economic theory or economic tools of analysis to analyze economic problems, and then to analyze business problems and then provide solutions. And then on the important side is the importance of managerial economics may rely in the following points: to provide tools and techniques for managerial decision making. Again, it gives answers to the basic problems of business management. It supplies data for analysis and forecasting, because economics is a science that actually generates a lot of data, economic data that helps in decisions and giving advices. You know, the critical role of every economist is actually giving advices. So, and to be able to do something very well, you need to forecast, you need to plan ahead, and then you need to forecast likely scenarios so that you are now advised that given social conditions. So this is what managerial economics sets out to achieve. Now, There are so many areas of economics, but not all areas are actually critical for managerial decision making. But some of these areas, like selection of product, which product to produce, selection of suitable product means which type of product and product are we going to produce. Like if you look at the fast moving product like Nestle, like Cadbury, like Dangote that produce, so which kind of products are we going to produce and supply to the market based on data generated, and then advices given by managerial economy. Selection of method of production, are we going to go digital, are we going to go high tech, are we going to go labor intensive, whatever. And product line decision, okay, how do we select which product are we going to put on this production line and things like that. And determination of price and quantity, what price are we going to charge for our product, what quantity are we going to produce relative to the available demand, because we have done a demand forecast and sales forecast. We have seen what is likely going to be produced by others, and then what we produce, how much can we be able to, how much market share can we take into that. Or decision on promotional strategy, that means the decision of advertisement. How do you create awareness for the product? How do you attract people to buy the product and stick to the product? Optimum input combination, allocation of resources. How do we do capital budgeting? How much amount of resources are we going to dedicate to this product or to this line of business, and just like that. These are the areas where you can say important. I mean, these are important areas that managerial economists help in decision making. Now, scope, the size, the extent to which managerial economics covers. How wide is the area of managerial economics? The scope of managerial economics refers to its area of study. Scope of managerial economics is wider than scope of business economics, in the sense that when managerial economics is dealing with the decisional problems for both business and non-business organizations, business economics deals with only the problems of business organizations. Managerial economics is giving solution to the problems of profit, non-profit organizations like schools, hospitals, etc. So you can see that there's a difference between business economics and managerial, because managerial economics tools can be applied to actually business and non-business. That means even those of you that are in public sector will learn a lot of techniques and tools that can be used in actually managing day-to-day affairs, even not for profit. Even though we know economics is focusing on the private sector, and it's focusing on businesses are for profit and so that. But again, the tools in managerial economics have application for even non-profit organizations, hospitals, and other areas. Now, the scope covers two areas of decision making: operational or internal issues and environmental or external issues. So if you want to summarize the area, the scope of managerial economics, you say it's either operational or environmental. And when you're talking of operational or internal issues within the control of the firm, and then external issues within outside the control of the firm or even the industry. And here we need to make a clear difference between a firm and an industry. The fact that you hear Dangote Industry or you find out there United Textiles Industries Limited does not make them an industry. It's just a name. In economics classification, an industry is a group of firms producing similar or the same type of product, like the textile industry. The textile industry deals with, it's talking about the entire gamut of textile business, even from the cotton, the ginning, the other aspects of the entire value chain is what's called textile industry. Or the cement industry, which is not only Dangote industry, it's not only Boa industry, no, it means all the manufacturers, all the cement manufacturers. So what are those operational issues we are talking about here? These issues are those which arise within the business organization and are under the control of the management. They pertain to simple questions of what to produce, when to produce, how to produce, and for which category of consumers. So, and this relates to the fundamental economic problems that economists actually set out to achieve, to solve in a given economy. That is the problem of what to produce. What are we going to produce for our people? When to produce? When are we going to start production, or for which period? How much to produce? What the quantity are we going to produce? And to which category of customers? Who are the customers? And you can even add what methodology, what technology to be used for production. So in addressing this issue, the firm has control over demand analysis and forecasting. A study of the determinants of demand is necessary for forecasting future demand of the product. Anybody that is targeting the hot periods when it is very hot, you start planning to produce things that are cold and just like that. So those who are into the business of cold room are now getting prepared, are now doing new investment, are now expanding their capacity so that they can be able to take advantage of June, March, and probably up to June, July. The season is very hot, so people will require a lot of colder items. Cost analysis. Estimate of cost is an essential part of managerial problems. Now, where most people fail to run a business properly is in actually cost analysis. How do they analyze their cost? Then pricing decision. How do you come to the decision as what price are you going to charge for your product? Profit analysis. How do you analyze your chances of making profit? What amount of profit are you getting relative to other members in the industry or relative to the economy and things like that? And then capital budgeting. How do you budget your capital investment? Investment in plant expansion, new product development, in research and development, and all that. And then so many other things that is important. Those are within the control of the farm. Environmental or external issues. Those are issues that are outside the control of the farm, even sometimes outside the control of the industry. Now, this refers to the general business environment in which the farm operates. A study of economic environment should include the type of economic system in the country. Are we running a socialist, a capitalist, or a mixed economy? The general trend in production and employment will comprise savings and investment, and the general economic trends and economic activities in the country. Trends in the working of financial institutions like banks, financial corporations, insurance companies. How are banks actually working? Are they lending money? At what rate are they lending money? How soon are they lending money? What kind of insurance products are available? And things like that. Magnitude and trust in foreign trade. What is the extent of foreign import and import business? How flexible? How easy? How are the terms of trade? Is it in our favor and favor of the country? And things like that. Trust, labor and capital market and the rest. These are outside the control of the farm, but they affect the internal workings of the farm. Now, one other thing is about managerial economy is a tool for decision making and forward planning. And it's what is important for you to take as a takeaway here is that you know that without planning, there could hardly be a brighter future. So a farm that wants to exist and remain profitable, that wants to achieve its main goal of this, must integrate decision forward planning into the decision-making process. So that's why managerial economy is also very important because it's a tool of actually decision. It will show you how to do demand forecasting, sales forecasting, and things like that. It shows you that giving data-based techniques that that enables the farm to think ahead and plan. One of it is the identification of the farm's objective. What's the objective of the farm? The statement of the problem to be solved. The listing of various alternatives. Evaluation and analysis of alternatives, the selection of the best alternatives, the implementation, monitoring of the alternative which is choosing. These are the roles of managerial economics. Now, forward planning, we said future is uncertain. You know, especially in a country like Nigeria, where things go haywire, you can finish all your plan, and then one stupid problem, this is like, look at what happened last year. Then as we wake up, we were just planning the year, then the pandemic came. As we're getting out of the pandemic, we are already in recession, and then the NSAS criminality comes in. So you always have one challenge or the other that you need to be planning ahead. Even with the best of plans, you can have some issues that disorganizes you. But the beauty of a plan is you also plan for eventualities, so that you can have option 2 in terms of crisis. In case your plan B, your plan A failed to materialize. A farm is operating under the condition of risk and uncertainty. Risk and uncertainty can be minimized only by making accurate focus and forward planning. Now, I just give you an example of the pandemic. It's a risk that you can hardly estimate. You can hardly imagine, but it came and affected businesses. For those who are resilient, those who are grounded, will survive it. Then as we are trying to get out of the pandemic, then the NSAS criminality started. So that's why a farm should always have a plan A, plan B, plan C, so that in every circumstances, it can actually already have thought about a way out. Now, a manager has to make plan for the future, e.g. expansion of existing plans. The study of macroeconomics provides managers a clear understanding about the environment in which the farm is working. And just like that. And lastly, for this introductory part, it's just a comparison of what economics is and what is managerial economics. Well, economics is dealing with both micro and macro aspects. Managerial economics is dealing with only micro aspects, both positive and negative signs, whereas this was practical aspects. So these are areas you need to, just a comparison of economics, main economics, and then managerial economics. Thank you for listening. This is just module 1 that introduces. Next, we're going to look at the demand concept so that we can see how demand works. Thank you, and do have a good day. Junior. Ko na Polaris. Ka je ka ka je ka ji kudin littafin nasu sai ka zo ran kudi ka biya.